Hey everybody, how's it going? Icy Cat here, and I've got some new information for you. Today, Ubisoft dropped the teaser trailer for the new operator, Echo. Let's break it down and take a look next. This new 15-second teaser trailer just dropped, and it accompanies the one that was released on Monday for Hibana. This, as well as some other expanded information, can be found over on the official Ubisoft blog. We'll put the link for that in the comments down below. The video is very short, so we'll have it looping in the background a few times, and we'll pause it and take a closer look at some things. We start out with this opening shot that's inside of the skyscraper map. We don't really gain any new information about the map from this image, but if you take a closer look at Echo's hip, you can see he has a gun holster there. Now, when we saw Hibana on her video the other day, she was wearing the Manibia PM9 on her holster. He has the other gun, that is the SIG P229, and it looks like it has a stainless steel finish, kind of like the Desert Eagle had. You can see he's engaging some kind of a display strapped to his forearm there, similar to how IQ or Twitch has. And the next image cuts to some kind of a camera perspective looking downward. Now, I was actually able to get the translation of this thanks to a Canadian friend of mine. When the videos were uploaded to the site, I'm region locked to the United States, and I don't get to see the subtitles for the spoken Japanese in the US translation. Only the European translation shows that. Since he's in Canada, apparently he gains access to the non-US version, where it actually provides the English subtitles. So props to Neely Bobber for helping me out on that. And you can see these down at the bottom. They say, "Why do it yourself when a robot can do it better?" Now, we're looking down from above, some kind of a perspective like a camera would seem to be. Note the jagged, distorted lines around the peripheral edges of the image. We also have this green, it's almost like a night vision filter that's on the camera, but you can see that it's not really providing night vision in that you're not able to see into like the deeper shadowy areas. Those are still pretty black and dark. This might simply be a kind of a filter on the screen like Valkyrie cameras have that blue filter. Now in the next image, we see something very interesting. That camera drops down. It seems like it detaches from the ceiling or up high where it is, and it falls down to the floor. And then it starts moving. Now, note in this image that those distorted, jagged lines have disappeared. You no longer have that. So it seems like when it's in a fixed position, you may have one state of the image, and then when it's moving, you might get a clearer image. Now we cut out of the camera and back to Echo again as he's operating. And then we see the camera drone roll up on the floor here. We'll get a closer shot of it here at the end, and you can see the 4 ducted fan blades in each of the corners. And that concludes the trailer. So we don't really know a whole lot about what this does. We know that he's got a drone, and we have the ability to see through it kind of like a camera, but there's more going on here than what's on the surface of this trailer. There is that noted difference between when it was up high and it had the refracted lines around the edges of the image, and then when it was down on the ground and it didn't. The difference between those states are not explained. Also, the name of the operator alone signifies that there could be something more specific going on with this that hasn't been revealed. Echo seems to have something to do with sound waves, radar waves, something like that. And if it's just a passive camera ability, that wouldn't necessarily tie in with the operator's name all that effectively, and many times the operator name does give you an insight into what the ability is. There's definitely something more here that's yet to be seen. More information will be available in the live stream demonstration for the showcase match November 12th or 13th. The only other information we get from the article is the weapon loadout. So we already knew what the secondaries were going to be. We talked about these with Hibana the other day, but they're the same here. So he'll have access to the Manibia PM9. This is kind of a PDW or like a secondary SMG. This is very similar to the MAC-11 or the SMG-11 that the SAS has. As I mentioned the other day, though, there's no word on if this will have the ACOG option like the other one does or not. We also knew that he would have the SIG P229, and we did in fact see that strapped to his hip holster in this video. The Defender also has a shotgun, and since Hibana had a shotgun, we knew that he would have the same one, and that's the Benelli Supernova. This is a 12-gauge pump-action shotgun. The one thing we didn't know, though, is what his alternate primary weapon might be, and now we know. It's been revealed that Echo's other primary weapon will be the HK MP5SD. This is the 3rd MP5 variant that'll be in the game. They've all been solid performers so far. The interesting thing about this gun is the SD designation denotes that it has an integral silencer. That means the silencer is built into the assembly of the barrel. It is part of the gun, so it's there by default. Now this is really interesting because it actually puts a little bit of closure on something that was a big mystery a while back. Back in the 4.2 change, Valkyrie lost one of her 4 deployable cameras. And this seemed really strange to me because with that nerf to Valkyrie having 3 cameras instead of 4, Twitch got a big buff that allowed her to be able to shoot out the fixed camera positions during the preparation phase. So it seemed like the defensive camera setup was getting a really heavy nerf. But now if we have an operator that has a different camera platform that's unique in its own right, this can kind of make up for some of that. So Echo appears to be breaking some new ground for defense here. The attackers have always had mobile camera platforms, but defense has always been stuck to fixed point cameras. Even with Valkyrie, where you could decide where they would go, they were still there. I mean, you could take them down manually and redeploy them, but that was still a manual process. This is the first kind of drone that can be piloted and repositioned, and it does appear to function as some kind of a camera platform. We don't know what the hard counters are for that, but it seems like IQ would be a likely person to detect this. And given that it's an electronic gadget, there's probably a good chance that EMP grenades might affect it, and it may wind up with some other counters as well. Now, the new DLC does appear to be launching on November 17th, that is next week, Thursday. And we do know that there's a 7-day exclusivity period for Season Pass holders. So that means that those of you with Season Pass will get it on November 17th, and the rest of you will get the new operators unlocked 1 week later, that is Thursday, November 24th. Now, on the 17th, everybody will gain access to the new gameplay features, if there are any, as well as the new Skyscraper map on the 17th. That's regardless if you have the Season Pass or not. All the Season Pass does is gives you the instant unlock for the new operators, as well as the ability to play them 1 week early before anybody else can unlock them with Renown or Rainbow credits. I've also had some questions coming up regarding the Season Pass because we are coming to the end of the first year, and they want to know if they'll still get it. If you've bought the Season Pass, you will get the Season 4 operators no matter what. Even if you bought that Season Pass the first day it was available, you will still get it through the Season 4 operators, so no worries on that. Season 4 content is included with the Season Pass regardless of when you bought it. Now, as always, to stay up to date on the latest news and information regarding Season 4, the new map, operators, and other information that might be coming out, please like and subscribe. You can also follow me over at IcyCat25 on either Facebook or Twitter. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.